This is going to be a very long post, so if you don't have the time, feel free to scroll past. I totally understand, not going to take it personally. But I do want to talk about what it is to live with anxiety and depression if you happen to be a creative person or someone who's quite intelligent. I mean, people do call me brilliant, and I kind of go, but I am very good at what I do. But when you are very good at what you do, when you hold yourself up to ridiculous Everest standards, what happens is that if you don't meet those standards, your depressive beast comes out. The black dog comes out and says, hey, oh, you fucked up. See? You are a complete fucking cunt. You thought you could build a fucking computer. You thought you could do this. You thought you could do that. Oh, you failed. Oh. And that has been what has happened to me in the case of building these computers. I started the build from the beginning because there was a build I attempted last year, and I got to a place where I just couldn't deal with it anymore. So I said, also, I was building that computer while in the throes of heartbreak because I fell deeply in love with someone, and she turned out to be a colossal liar. So I was obviously not in the greatest headspace for a build. I got to a point on the first build where I got blinking lights on the board. You turn it on, you got blinking lights. And I was like, what the fuck? The memory lights up. I'm getting the RGB. Obviously, the CPU works, or else the motherboard would not be working. But I got the blinking lights, and I didn't understand. And I tried everything, except for one thing, which I did this morning. I did some research this morning, because, got myself shaved, showered, having a nice little bagel. And I realized, after doing some research, that CPU and the DDR5 memory I had in that first build were just not compatible. It's an old LGA 1700 socket, and it only goes up to 4800. DDR5 5600. So that's why I was getting the blinking lights. And I realized, I actually have two shots, because I'm also working on this other build, and I'm not getting anything at all on the second build. And that could just be a bum power supply or a bum CPU. But because I was relaxed, because I took care of myself, I was able to solve the problem. But I delayed this problem for a good, almost a fucking year. Almost a fucking year, because the black dog plagued me. When I couldn't get the first build operational, I was like, I kept saying, I'll find a weekend. I never had a weekend, because I was always keeping myself busy. Yeah. Instead of just saying, hey, motherfucker, just calm yourself down. Make sure the black dog is, throw some meat at him so he's not actually, denigrating you. And that moment never happened. And it was so fraught and tied into that breakup that I just decided to start from scratch. I decided to start from the very beginning again, only to have the exact same problem, which actually was just lack of knowledge on my end. I should have researched the CPU and the memory before I bought them for the first build. And for this one, I think it's a bum power supply, but these problems are solvable. They're just not solvable after you have worked and toiled on these fucking computers for 12 hours, all right? It can be very frustrating. And when things are very frustrating, when you get tired, that is when the black dog comes out. And this is my anxiety and my depression. It is always rooted upon my inner voice, which can be more castigatory than any of the fucking trolls that show up here on my TikTok feed. Believe me, I'm the most brutal person on myself that you could possibly imagine. I gotta stop doing that. I have really gotta stop doing that. This is the great silver lining of the cloud I am now in. Realizing that we all make mistakes. Even I make mistakes. I can't be brilliant 24/7. That's a ridiculous fucking standard to live by. There are things I just don't know. But now that I've learned about the first build thing, I now have 2 shots at reviving the computers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I get these 2 desktops working for my own peace of mind. And I'm just going to take my time. Once I get one running, I have a desktop. But I'm going to take my time on this, and by this summer, I will have both desktops functioning. Because I need to be better about realizing that I can do these things. And that just because you suffer a setback that invites the black dog to come and say, fuck you, bald man, I can't have that black dog in my life. I've already done a lot of work to keep that motherfucker at bay. But he comes out, especially with an intense computer build that is also tied into deep heartbreak in my life. And this has actually been a good thing for me to learn. And I'm sure that those of you who suffer from depression and anxiety probably have a similar situation. I'm here to tell you that you actually can solve the problem. You actually can overcome the setback. You just have to be gentler to yourself. You have to take care of yourself. Go for a walk. Feed yourself. Get some rest. Get some sleep. Be relaxed, and you will be able to slowly solve the problem, and you will be able to laugh at the mistakes more. And that is what I'm trying to do. I'm still working on this. I'm getting better, but this has been eye-opening for me. There's always some factor X in life, and you need to learn how to live with it and to ensure that it's not necessarily your fault. It's no one's fault sometimes. To solve a problem, you can only solve it when you are in the best possible space. And I'm going to be better about communicating to people. I actually am already doing that. Like I've sometimes told my supervisor at work, hey, I'm really, really worn out. So can you go a little easy on me tonight, like on a Friday or something? Because I really work my ass off in everything. But I'm also trying to do it so that I can keep this level head of mine, which is there, except when I lose my fucking shit after 12 hours of toiling on a computer build. But, yeah, I'm learning. This was a learning lesson. You cannot take a setback personally. You dust yourself off, you take care of yourself, and you go back to it when you're ready. But also, I don't want to delay something so that it's a year before I fucking fix it. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I mean, I have inner dialogues with myself, where I beat myself up for not finishing a lot of the scripts that I'm working on. How dare you not finish? Dude, you wrote 800 pages in a fucking year. That's phenomenal. But no, I haven't managed to get all the scripts done. Therefore, I'm a failure, a fraud, a piece of shit. This is what I live with. I'm just trying to be gentler with myself because it's ridiculous. People are understanding. They know how hard I work. They know how dependable and loyal I am. I got to stop. So this is a step.